Do you think politics has moved beyond a contest of ideas to a straight popularity contest?
It's a good question, and it's always been a little bit of both. And sometimes ideas are predominant, and sometimes personalities are. It has to remain in a democracy a combination. Otherwise, I think it's hard for someone with the best ideas who cannot communicate or connect with people to get elected, to implement those ideas. And it's hard if all you have is a great personality and no ideas to govern.
Our next question is from a political science student, Alex Mashmet. Where are you?
Well, thank you for your time today, Madam Secretary. My question is, do you think the Republican takeover of the House will affect the timeline for the drawdown of troops in Afghanistan next year?
Really, another good question, and it's one that we hope not, because we think we have a good plan going into the NATO ISAF meetings in Lisbon in about 2 weeks' time. We think that striking the right balance, you'll hear me say that word a lot, balance, striking the right balance between moving and expecting the Afghan government to do more for its own defense, but not being hasty in our transition to their lead in security, is what we are attempting.
As a Australian-born Muslim that wears a headscarf, I'd like to know your opinions on those that claim that the hijab and burqa is un-Australian, and more importantly, your opinion on a woman's right to dress as and how she pleases.
Well, I am aware of the difference between a headscarf and a burqa and a hijab, and I think that there is a difference. I think that a headscarf is a very appropriate manifestation of a woman's choice, so long as it is her choice, which is a premise of my answer. But I think we have to face the reality that in a society where there is a legitimate threat of terrorism, not being able to see one's face, not being able to, have some sense of communication in that way is, for many societies, a challenge.
My name's Jack Hegarty. I'm 20 years old and I live in the Latrobe Valley of regional Victoria. We know from several surveys that an inequality in marriage legislation often translates to an inequality of self-worth. Madam Secretary, what's your view on same-sex marriage?
Well, I have been a strong supporter of ending discrimination and particularly focusing on hate crimes and workplace bias and the like. And in our country, the issue of same-sex marriage, which is it's a matter left to each state sets the rules, is proceeding on a state-by-state basis. I think that's the best way for it to proceed. I have not supported same-sex marriage. I have supported civil partnerships and contractual relationships. Yet I am supportive of our states taking actions that they believe reflects the evolution of attitudes about this. It is a signature issue, and as the young man just said, for many people it is sort of a symbolic issue that if you don't support that, you don't support equality between people, and particularly for the LGBT community. But I am very comfortable saying that we in the Obama administration fully support every kind of equality, opening up opportunities in the State Department, which is my province of jurisdiction, and we will continue to support states making their own decisions about this. I imagine, given the evolution of this issue, that it will not be a big issue in 20 or 30 years. I think it will have moved on. And if you look at surveys, we want I personally want to see gays serving openly in our military, and young members of the military have no problem with that. People older are still somewhat resistant to it. So I think it's like anything else. It is a new change, a new mindset of what it means to be fully respectful of another person, that you'll see that evolve.
Let me invite Wayne Bergman, the Executive Director of the Kimberley Land Council, to ask his question.
Madam Secretary, given the history of Indigenous people, Native Americans in America, and the Obama's administration's what I call uncompromising commitment to engage with that leadership, can Australia learn from those experiences when engaging with Aboriginal people here?
I don't know enough about the situation here in Australia. I'm obviously well aware of the debate that you've had in this country over the appropriate approach and treatment of the Aboriginal people. I thought that the apology for the treatment going back in history that Kevin Rudd gave as Prime Minister was very important, because you do have to recognize that there was mistreatment and abuse, and the history is not one that in my country I can just dismiss, and I'm sure cannot be dismissed in Australia either. We still have a lot of social issues that have not been effectively dealt with among our Native American population. We have a higher degree of unemployment, a higher degree of dropping out of college, a higher degree of alcoholism, and all kinds of issues that we just have to do better at addressing, and I would assume the same is true here. And I would hope that whatever the government is, whoever's in positions of responsibility, continues to work in a cooperative fashion to empower Aboriginal people to be part of making the decisions that will give them the support they need to go forward.